Neat.
Oh, fun. Well, Judy, you're on.
Thanks. Well, welcome everybody to our Saturday morning webinar. It's really not early. It's been a very full morning, and thankfully, I had other people to assist this morning, kind of like a mastermind, actually. And that's kind of what we're going to talk about today in Napoleon Hill's 10th chapter in Think and Grow Rich. He talks about the power of the mastermind. And it really, he thinks of this as the driving force of leadership, which I think is really interesting. And we're going to discover a lot of things today. We're going to really focus on the mastermind and how it relates to our business and our lives. Not everything that Napoleon Hill has in his book, but a lot of really how it concerns us and how we want to use having a mastermind in our business. Last night, I was on a webinar for an organization that I'm a leader for, and we actually talked about masterminds in that discussion on moving the organization forward. So even though this book was written in 1939, it really still is very active in what Napoleon Hill has to say. Isn't that right, Bob?
It's amazing to me. Now, there are a lot of things in the book that are pretty antiquated, and there are even some rather odd things, I think, in the book. But by and large, I think we can really learn a lot. I've thought a lot about this power of the mastermind. I don't think we really equate that all the time with what we're doing as synergy distributors. But when you really stop and kind of flesh this thing out a little bit, this is what we do all the time. It really is. I mean, we form teams, if you will, in synergy, right? We're organizations. Dan has all of his people, and Brian Holt has his organization, and on and on. We form ourselves into teams, and then those teams work together. It seems like the team, everybody, every group in synergy is unique. They have their own things that they're doing, the way that they move forward with their business, but they also have these really pretty solid common denominators, right? We have the product is a common denominator. The comp plan is a common denominator. We have these beautiful videos, awesome videos, for example, that Dan has made, that Synergy has made, the conference calls, webinars. All of that plays into this concept, the idea of having a mastermind, because it's not just one person trying to push the business forward. It's the collective ideas and thoughts of the organization that causes the business to move forward. That mastermind of hashing things out individually and as a group. And that's really what we do almost naturally as synergy distributors. Is that fair to say, Judy?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And as Napoleon Hill puts it, his definition is organized and intelligently directed knowledge. And that's really what synergy is about.
I could get myself in a lot of trouble with the magnifying glass like that guy has in that picture when I was a kid. I could set stuff on fire with one of those. I think my mom finally took mine away from me.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. That's funny.
Uh,
I used one too as a child, but I never actually started a fire. I always stopped when it smoked. I
oh
don't
my!
know what that means.
Oh, I set a field on fire and nearly burnt down a log building. My dad and my uncle were on the volunteer fire department. Oh my goodness sake. Anyway, that's another story, but you know, this organized and intelligently directed knowledge. I mean, seriously, when you stop and think about it, you're talking about multiple people working towards a definite end and doing it basically harmoniously. It's kind of like this new app that we've got. I stop and think about that quite a bit, but the new Legacy 2020 app, that came about by a group of men, primarily Brian Holt and Dan Higginson, and all of their knowledge was Synergy Worldwide. They got their heads together with this newer distributor, Bobby, out of New Jersey, who has a background in network marketing. All that accumulated knowledge, they organized that together, got a hold of a company that did the kind of app production or building that would work for us, and then organized all of that. What are we going to put in there? How is it going to work? How does this affect Synergy distributors particularly? And the whole app is just designated and customized for Synergy Worldwide. And so it was that organized and intelligently directed knowledge that all of those men had together that created the Legacy 2020 app. And it's brilliant. I think it's just brilliant.
Yeah, it absolutely is. I know I sent out a lot of information this week, and someone signed up in my organization last week that did not leave a name or a phone number or an address, but there was an email address. So I sent a note saying, "Dear, I don't know who you are," basically, but I included the ProArginine app with that, thinking, well, it's probably ProArginine. 90% of them are. And he's opened it twice, or she. I don't know. I don't have a response yet, but we've already made a connection, which to me is awesome. It's a way for me to really get closer to that person that I have no idea who they are.
Yeah, it's amazing. And again, it's organized and it's intelligently directed. That everything has to do with that Legacy 2020 app. I was on every Tuesday night. There's Brian and Bobby do a webinar. Really, it's for bringing new people to it. Because Bobby D does it, and he does a really good job. He goes through product and comp plan and everything in less than 30 minutes. So it's really good. But while I'm on, I've heard it so many times, and so I have a propensity to just get on my app and send out a few messages while I'm listening to them because I've heard it so many times. But on Tuesday night, as I was sitting and listening, I sent out 3 text messages and asked 3 different people who I know who were previous part of our team a long time ago, years ago, 10 years ago. All 3 of them responded. All 3 of them wanted to see the video. All 3 of them watched the video, and all 3 of them got back with me with a comment with regard to the video, et cetera, et cetera. That would not have happened, you guys, if I didn't have that app on my phone. Now, I didn't sell any ProArgi, but I brought the product back to people's attention. The fact that Synergy is alive and well, and we're still moving forward, it was phenomenal. All of those people said they want to get re-engaged. They didn't buy any product from me on the spot. One of them was one of those individuals I haven't seen in at least 10 years. And but he is going to buy some more product, but he has his own, he's still a Synergy distributor. So, but anyway, the point being, when you have organized, intelligently directed knowledge working in your favor, it's a huge advantage when you're trying to grow a business. I think it's just that simple.
Well, you're right, Bob. And in the next step of that is with the coordination of the knowledge and effort, in really a spirit of harmony between 2 or more people for the attainment of a definite purpose. And really, when we're talking about the app, that is just absolutely so true. And I would also like people to think about this definition in your own lives. Where can that show up in your life with a partner, with a child, with a neighbor? This is so all encompassing, not just for our business, but for so much more than that, for harmony and just that decision-making process in our lives as a whole.
Yeah, I kind of laughed when I read the sentence in the book where Napoleon Hill says, "Surround yourself with people with brains." I thought, well, that makes sense, you know. I like that idea, but I wanted to share an experience that I had several years ago with regard to Mastermind. I was asked to by a group of people. There was going to be a big Boy Scouts of America event at a place called Camp Coles up above Spokane, Washington, in the this summer. It would have been maybe 3 years ago, 4 years ago, I can't remember. And I had a group of people come and ask me if I would build a gateway into the camp. Now there were going to be, 1,500 people there to this encampment thing. But each group had to have their own gateway into their camping area, and it all had to be built out of lodgepole pine, and you couldn't use any nails or screws. And I was presented with that. And like the fool that I am, I said, okay, yeah, I'll do it. Sometimes I'm not the guy in the group with the brains. I'm the other guy in the group. So anyway, I'm like, okay, well, how am I going to do this? I mean, I don't have a clue, but I'm going to do it. So I created a team. I got a whole group of men together. I think there were 6 of us, I think, all together. And we met together and I said, okay, here's the challenge. Where do we begin? And between the 6 of us, we figured out, we drew up a design. One of the guys he does that for a living. And so he drafted up and created what it would look like, this thing. And anyway, we broke it all down and we wanted to have swinging gates on this. We're going to make a really cool gateway. And so we designed it. And I went up to this place and they had all these lodgepole pines, which are about maybe 2.5, 3 inches in diameter. They're not very big, but they're 20 feet long. I had to peel the bark off all of those long 20-foot long poles with a draw knife. Everything had to be done by hand. And I peeled all of those logs. It's 105 degrees out there. Got them all peeled. And then one of the other guys, Joe, came up and we completely assembled a gateway using 1/4-inch hemp rope. We lashed the thing together. Every single lodgepole pine, every log was lashed together with a piece of rope. It took a whole bunch of us to coordinate it, to build it. This thing had swinging gates on it, had a walkway and ladders that went up it, and it was a big deal. It was a really cool thing when we got done. I could not have done that on my own. I probably have the skill to do it, but I didn't know where to begin. But by having a mastermind group together, we put that together, and they did a big video of this encampment, and one of our boys who played the bagpipes, they filmed him up on top of that gateway on the walkway that we created above the gateway, climb up the ladder and stand up there with his bagpipes playing a beautiful tune on his bagpipes. Amazing Grace, I think. And but it took the coordination of a group of like-minded men to be able to make that work. And I think that's really a great example of how a mastermind, get those people together, get talking, and make it work. Judy?
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the great things I think about a mastermind is that it's so much richer. Even if you could have figured that out yourself alone, Bob, having that team together to work out ideas and to embellish on our ideas. I know some masterminds that I've been in where I've had a vision. My vision gets expanded and it gets better because of the input of the other people.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's what happens when you get together with a group of people. And that's what's so cool about Synergy Worldwide and the various teams that we have, because the way we move forward with our businesses with Synergy is pretty much unique to the group or the team involved. Like that, the group of people that are so successful in Korea, they do things differently than we do here. And part of it's cultural, a lot of it's cultural. But that's how we move forward with Synergy Worldwide. And I think it's cool. I think it's really neat. We create our own mastermind groups almost well, it's just almost inherent to what we're doing.
Absolutely. And Napoleon Hill talks a lot about specific people in his book. I mean, Henry Ford is there a lot. There's, there's a lot there's certain people that come up in every single chapter. And when he brings up Mahatma Gandhi, he's still alive. That's how early this book was written. And he really became so respected and honored and revered in his lifetime for the way that he was able to get a nation to really come together and create independence. And when you look at his story, where he came from, what he went through, I really think that because of the discrimination that he had when he was in South Africa, really started to engender in him the whole idea of independence, because he was so discriminated because of the color of his skin in South Africa, because of course it was South Africa was made by white people and their laws, and his skin was dark. Didn't make a difference that he wasn't South African, but the color of his skin made him different. And he was discriminated against so badly. He was kicked off of a bus. He was bullied. He was beaten because of the color of his skin. And when he went back to India and thought about what the Indians were going through, his own people, he even refused to fight in World War II, because World War II was about freedom and independence and being a democratic world. And he said, how can I fight for that when I don't even have it in my own country? And he was able to take his people and together create an uprising that was completely peaceful. And that really took, I believe, courage, but his dedication and his leadership was able to change the belief and the thoughts of an entire country, and be able to create that freedom. And it was through not just him, but all of the people around him that he was able to gather and create a mastermind of belief and harmony.
It was amazing, absolutely amazing, man. You compare the kind of leadership, the humble leadership, how he was able to bring millions of people together with a direct purpose in mind, peacefully, compared to Adolf Hitler at the same time, and how he did things. It also, he reminds me a little bit too of Mother Teresa, how a little lady, and little tiny lady like her can have an influence across the world. That's like Gandhi, just a little guy, didn't have riches or anything else. He just he just was doing the right thing. And it's amazing. It really is amazing what you can do in this world.
And really, and this is really a definition of richness, I believe, Bob. It's not about the money, but it's about the richness of relationships and just doing the right thing for the betterment of all. And there's where the richness lies.
Yeah, he was revered, absolutely revered across the world, and still is.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
And rightfully
cool.
so.
Really cool. Such a beautiful picture.
It is a beautiful picture.
Did you take that one, Judy?
I did not take this one. No, I have one almost like it that I couldn't find. It's on, I should have taken a picture. It's on my wall. We actually had a print made of it. but very similar. So I chose this one.
Well, and the irony, you've got poverty on one side of the river and riches on the other, right?
Yes, yes. And uh, the thing about poverty and riches is they always don't stay on their side of the river, right?
No, no, they don't. I have an attorney friend who used to say, I've been rich and I've been poor. Goes, rich is better. Oh, I love it. But no, it's true, and we deal with a lot of things in the course of our lives. At my age now, I don't know how many recessions that we didn't have to live through the Great Depression like our parents did, but boy, we've had recessions, we've had, you know, crazy inflation, stock market swings, war, politics. I mean, things change, and people's lives change, and people's finances change. Usually from rich to poor, and then maybe hopefully back to rich again. I guess you have to define what rich is or what poor is, but it's just how life is.
It definitely is. And I think that what a leader does is that when they are in the state of poverty, they don't just say, oh, well, it was fun to be rich and, this is my life now. But what they do is they work together with themselves, with other people, and they strive to get back to that richness and
Yeah.
to really make their goals and to work every day on crossing the river.
And it requires planning again, and we get back to that. The whole mastermind concept is that you get together, you figure things out, you have to plan things accordingly, you have to be persistent, you have to work hard, that kind of thing, in order to change and to regroup. And again, you have to define what riches are. It's different for all of us, and sometimes peace of mind has a lot more to do than the bottom line of your financial portfolio. I have a son who lives in Indiana, works in Louisville, Kentucky, and I've had this conversation with him many times. He makes a lot of money at his job, but it comes at a terrible price. He's gone all the time. He's under terrible stress. I'm always worried that he's going to have a stroke. And I've said to him before, well, what is peace of mind worth to you? Is it, there are a lot of things that are more important than that big paycheck every month. And a lot of that has to do with time spent with your family and the comfort. You get up in the morning, you're happy that it's a new day rather than have a stomach ache when you get up in the morning to have to go to work. And so a lot of it has to do with definitions and how we look at the world in general. But yeah, it's just all a matter of planning, persistence, and hard work.
It absolutely is. And having those people that you can go to help you maybe think of things that you wouldn't have thought of before. I was, many of you know that I work a lot with LinkedIn, and that's how I get my leads for my business. And I was on the phone with my LinkedIn person the other day, and he's like, what we need to do is videos. And I'm like, oh my gosh, yeah, I've been doing videos for a long time, but on YouTube and not on LinkedIn. So we're putting together a series of videos that will actually stay on my profile on LinkedIn. And, he said, it's not about just doing the video for an event, but it's about having them archived on your LinkedIn profile, where now you will be seen as the leader of, the master, so to speak, of what you're talking about, because people can watch it over and over. So without him even putting that idea in my mind, I would not have thought of that or why that was important. And, now I've spoke to several people about being on videos with me and, talking about health with just some experts that, I can tap into. So that mastermind thing, it's a good thing.
It's a good thing, Judy. It's a really good thing. Well, that's all I've got on my agenda for this morning, Judy. Do you have anything else to add?
That's I think that is it for me. We have the Monday morning call. We will be here next week. Watch your email for anything that happens.
Right, and next weekend, of course, is going to be the Synergy event with weather permitting. I'll be down there for the weekend, and I'm looking forward to it. I wish everybody could get there. You know, we've been waiting for such a long time to have a chance to get together again at an event, and finally we have that opportunity. But they scheduled it the first weekend in February, which is always terrible weather if you live up in our area. Well, it's cold and wet in Utah too. So anyway, it is what it is. I'm going to try to be there, and I'll certainly let everybody know how things go, and we'll just have to go from there. But looking forward to it. And then next week, Dan is on for Saturday webinar. I won't be there. I won't be able to get on with you, but in any event, it's all good. So thanks, everybody. God bless you all. And I guess we'll see you all again before you know it.
Yeah, before we say goodbye, is there any questions or comments?
Hey, just thank you guys for stepping up to the plate always and your presentation. And I love the presentation and the need to get together as a team and do things. So I appreciate it and look forward to continuing our work. I did want to mention that I received a call during the week from I believe it's Alexio. He's the new North American I guess manager Alex for the North Synergy, and it was very nice to receive a call from him.
Oh, he's a great guy, Alex Malicio.
Yeah.
Yep.
Alex Malicio, great guy, and you know, just a direct hello, how are you? If there's anything we can do, and that was pretty refreshing, and I think that's goes right into the part of what you guys presented this morning. So thanks again.
You bet. You know, David, you can Google him on YouTube, Alex Malicio. He's got a beautiful singing voice, and he performs quite a bit. Pretty fun. You should go on YouTube and look his name up and listen to him sing. See him and listen to him sing.
And you know what? He actually talked to me in Spanish, which was pretty cool. So I'll see what he has out there. Maybe he'll have bilingual songs.
Yeah, maybe so. Yeah, neat guy. Okay. Thank you, David.
Cool. Okay, well, everybody have a good week.
Have a good week. You too, Judy. Take care of yourself. We'll see you again. Talk to you Monday.
Thank you all. And thanks for sharing. I didn't know that Dan was out. So yes, I'll keep him in my prayers. And thanks a lot. Bob, would you spell Alex's last name for me, please?
I'm not sure. Melecio, Malicio. M-E-L-E. Try it again. Melecio. I think.
Okay.
You can look him up on Synergy and probably get the correct spelling. But yeah, go to YouTube, Alex Malicio. Yeah, you can see him singing, hear him singing.
Okay. All right. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Great presentation as always.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Love you guys.
All right, guys.
Guys,
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.